Greetings, Kooplings, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Nintendo Shack. We're a proud member of the PSVG Podcast Network, the power moon of the PSVG Podcast Network. And now that the Shack is back, let's talk all things Nintendo. Filling out the Me Plaza tonight are my partners in crime. Caroline, how are you?
Me Plaza. What is this, like... Was that Wii or Wii U?
Both.
Both.
3DS.
Waru Waru.
Right.
The Waru Waru Plaza.
I want
Thank
to be
you.
in Waru Waru.
Caroline, how are you doing?
That will remain to be seen.
Okay.
I saw your kitty cat, so I'm feeling good right now, but I think you're about to trigger me big time.
Nah, I'm really not.
It's been a bad week, dude.
For those of you that follow along the Discord, I've been asking Caroline to bottle all of her feelings up for tonight. Because here's the thing, Caroline. When you have a Discord like ours, where we constantly regurgitate the news, by the time you make it to the podcast, sometimes it can feel old. And nobody else has ever heard you talk about it. So you got to save it. Save it for the pod. Also,
Hashtag save it for the pod.
that's it. Also here in the Waru Waru Plaza, Jason Lacey. Making
Hi,
his
I'm
triumphant
back.
return.
Hi, it's me.
Oh,
Hi.
no, wait a minute.
Hello.
You were here last week. Didn't you see the video?
Yeah.
I totally missed an opportunity. I should have totally just freeze-ran myself for the first 30 seconds or so. See if anybody caught on.
You were really smiley last week. I mean, you must have been in a
you
really
were
freaking good mood.
Super happy mood.
I didn't know what was coming, so I was in a great mood. And then this week came, and then everything happens. But that's something that's not Nintendo Shack appropriate discussion. So. I want to talk about happy things.
That's real life.
Like Flipping
No, I-
Island, because that's what Josh is talking about in the chat. Is that the happy things we're looking to talk about?
Hello, Josh.
I should have the chat open.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to skip what you playing because we've got two things that we're going to talk about, two main topics. Now, for those of you who've been listening to Nintendo Shack for the past 3 weeks, every week we've been dropping an E3 topic. Well, this week we got two major ones, and it's going to take a long time to get through them. But I have some news, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run through the news real quick. At the end, I'll let you guys jump in with any thoughts you have, okay? But I'm going to trust. Let's not spend too much time on this. All right, so the news for you Nintendo folks out there. Mario Tennis Aces, which launches June 22nd, gets a free demo next week in a 3-day multiplayer tournament June 1st through the 3rd. So if you have not been sold a Mario Tennis yet, next week and the week after is your chance to do so. I think that's awesome. Okami HD got a date, August 9th. Go Vacation, a Wii game that Bandai Namco made, is being published by Nintendo for the Switch. It's basically the same port of the Wii game with enhanced visuals, and they added a fishing mode and some new animals.
I was not aware that it was being published by Nintendo.
Isn't
That's
that
pretty
odd?
big.
Nintendo is publishing the game. For those of you who don't know about it, it came out 2011 on Wii. It's basically a Wii Sports, Wii Resort ripoff.
Right.
It has 50 mini games, but none of them are golf. They have mini golf, but no actual golf. So no golf, no Donnie. What a week for video games. This week we've got a bunch of video games coming out, highlighted by none other than Hyrule Warriors, the Definitive Edition. But we also have Banner Saga, Little Nightmares, Battle Chasers, Mega Man Collections 1 and 2, and Runner 3. They will all be available for your Nintendo Switch by the time we record next week. We are all going to play Hyrule Warriors, and we are going to have a blast doing it, right? Everybody's in?
Well, I've already 100% of the original Wii.
Kevin
version,
won
but-
Hyrule Warriors. Jason, did you get
Yeah,
Hyrule
yeah.
Warriors?
I don't have Hyrule Warriors.
That's interesting because the PSVG family pulled some funds together and we bought you Hyrule Warriors.
Oh my god.
So just to let you know that
Yay!
we will all be playing Hyrule Warriors this weekend.
Everybody.
And
Wow.
we will be able to
Hyrule
come
Warriors,
back
and
and
you
give
get
you
Hyrule
all of our
Warriors.
thoughts.
Why did you guys do this?
So
Why?
you can think
Because we're cool.
the Nintendo Shack board with video games and the OT as Devin, Coach Mo, Josh, Kyle, Caroline, myself, all pitched in to make sure that you could explore Hyrule with the rest of us.
Wow.
Because it's not fun to play if you don't play with your friends, Jason.
But I can't play with you.
But you can still...
Nintendo doesn't like multiplayer ever.
We'll just compete. Whoever beats the game first, whoever unlocks
No.
everything.
Whoever beats all the maps first, that would be one thing. Josh
Oh my
says,
God,
"Hooray!
wow.
I can leave the shack now."
I've
So
done
apparently
it.
he was
It's
here
hard.
for one thing only. So
Wow.
that was the news.
Thank you. Wow. Okay. I've already got more news like this today too. So I'm.
Oh,
sorry
I'm
about
aware.
He's getting ready to cry.
I'm aware, and there's actually I think there might be more news coming. So
Yeah, I think so too.
Stay tuned. So anyway,
Oh.
that's the news. Do you guys have any thoughts on any of that stuff? Mario Aces? I mean,
I'm not going to be here, so just a forewarning: in 2 weeks, I will not be in the shack. I'm going to Disney World with my husband and his family.
Should we announce our special guest that we have slotted to fill the void?
Have at
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
We have assigned the illustrious, the elusive,
The ghost.
the almost resurrected.
Don't call it
Bobby,
a comeback.
The Nintendo Guru.
That's
Will
right.
be joining us.
And I'm never going to be allowed to come back.
What?
Unless he dies again.
What?
No, absolutely not.
No,
No?
I'm just saying, Bobby,
That's
like,
not
I
true.
can't even hold a candle to Bobby. But
Oh.
anyway, going to Disney World, I can't even participate in the Aces tournament while it's available. Like
You can play the demo
free
next
thing.
week, though, right? Yeah, it comes. The
Is it
demo
next
drops
week?
next
Oh, yeah.
week. The demo drops next week, and then they have a tournament you can play in the week after.
Ah,
So there's
okay,
tons to
I
play.
see.
Like you're gonna be able, and you can play as Peach, Mario, Yoshi, and Bowser.
Man,
Okay.
my girl. You know my girl ain't in there.
But, I mean, this is
What would
like
you
a
do
demo.
if all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, why don't you play as your me?" And your Mii's were in Mario Tennis.
I mean,
It'd
that
be
would
like
require
Mario
them to
Golf.
build Mii's that were beyond just a face. So I mean, it would
Yeah.
be nice.
They would,
That's true.
they would also have to have like those really like elongated sprites that I
Yeah.
think
I
that
just want to
it'd
play
be
as a me
bizarre.
again. I
Speaking
think
of
I want
speaking
Mii's.
of the
I don't want
news-
Mii's to die.
speaking of the news, that
I'm like the only person.
that Go Vacation game. How weird is it to see those avatars when you've played with a Mii for so many? Like I looked
I
at those
know.
avatars, like those are terrible.
yeah.
I don't want to play like that.
They kind of look like the Xbox avatars.
I think I'm gonna get it though if it's published by
No,
Nintendo.
you're not. Really? Stop.
Fishing.
Caroline, you're the problem. Stop it. Buy Sushi
Don't.
Strikers
Fishing
instead.
game.
I've been reading the previews on Sushi Strikers. Everybody that plays it really likes it. People
Yeah,
are gonna
I've got it on my list.
reviews are gonna be good, and that's gonna bother some people. My cat, stop chewing on my cords.
Other news: Donnie got a new kitten.
I did get a kitten named Kirby.
Caroline, do your Team Rocket voice for his kitten.
What are you talking about? Like the Meowth voice?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I may have to
God.
like stop and come back. He's really going to town on
If
the
we,
cords.
if we lose the stream, it's
If
'cause
we
Donnie's
lose
cat.
everything, if it all just goes to poo.
I
that's
just
because
feel
of the
really
kitten.
bad because Brian and I actually did just watch an episode of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and like the Ultra Adventures on for dinner, and I can't do a very good Meowth impression.
Okay. Anybody getting into those games besides? So like, I will be getting Runner 3 next week, and I will be looking very much
All
forward.
getting Hyrule Warriors.
Getting Hyrule Warriors.
Apparently.
You getting Mega Man at all, Jason? Aren't you into Mega Man?
I love Mega Man, but I might. I'm not like in a hurry to get that. For whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't know why.
I'm gonna get Tennis Aces, but not like
Yeah,
day one launch.
I think I'm good. That's a game that I think I have to play, but I'm still not in a like hurry. Or Donnie's removing his
Donnie's-
cat, and it's
yeah.
quite humorous. It's like
I
the
still don't
Flintstones.
have-
but Red takes Dino or Dino outside.
You know, outside.
Or was it no? It was like, or was it a cat? I can't
No,
remember.
it was
Sabretooth.
Dino.
Was
It was
Dino? I
Dino.
can't remember.
Yeah. It's like a dog dinosaur. But yeah, I
Yeah.
still don't have Ultra Smash for the Wii U, and
I hear that was kind of a probably safe to not ever get anyway, unless you just want to have it for the sake of having it.
it's having for the sake of having on my shelf.
Sorry for the quick bail. The cat was going to town right on the power outlet that would have just turned everything off. I was like, no, I have to leave.
We remarked that you look like Fred Flintstone removing Dino out the back door.
I wanted to get Banner Saga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to play.
It looks good.
I want to play all of those at some point.
Yeah, the way that was described when it was announced during the direct, I was like, man, I might be into something like that.
And here's the funny thing: I have it for free on my PC because Twitch Prime's like, here, have games, and Banner Saga was one of them, but I've never even
Never
haven't
played it.
because it's on the PC. I don't.
Let me just a quick sidebar tangent because you're more of the PC player. Do you think that? Well, actually, Carolyn plays PC too. When you have a Steam library that's just full of options, do you think it's like? Does it like stop you from playing because you just stare
Oh,
at
yeah.
it and you're like, I have
Lucas-
no idea what to play?
Lucas will attest because we'll come down sometimes. It's like, okay, I've got an hour and a half. I'm going to play a game, and you just look at your library and you're like,
It's really
none of this.
daunting.
You have to. I have mine curated, so I have my Steam library broken up between games I finished games that are multiplayer only, games I've never touched, games I haven't even installed yet. So that way I could like actually try to get through my backlog. And I did finish quite a few games that way, but then I got the Switch and then
it
That's
all went
pretty
to the.
smart. Whenever I open Steam, I'm just like, I forgot where I was.
I don't play PC games.
Open Stardew Valley again.
I tried to play PC games for like a year, and even I have like 300 Steam games.
yeah.
They're just there.
I mean, all you got to do is wait long enough, and you get a Humble bundle, and then you
Yeah.
get like 10 games there,
Yep.
and then like Lucas does Humble monthly, so he's getting like 5-6 games every month.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
Wow. Did you guys see the updates that they did for the definitive version of Hyrule Warriors, like especially in the adventure mode?
No.
So I thought this is one thing that I heard in some of the reviews. Besides the fact that it looks brighter, which I think is going to make that game, I'm so excited, and apparently it runs really well. The only real gameplay thing that they changed is in the adventure mode maps, you had to have certain items to either like unlock
Progress
the
to a
key
different
to get to the
square.
different map
Yeah.
or whatnot, and you had to kind of grind them out. And I think that's why I played it so much on 3DS, because you had to like go find the item. Now they've taken that away. So what they've done is they've added like a store. So once you find that item, you can then use material and
Repurchase it?
and purchase as many as you want. So it
Oh,
should
Thank
make
God,
that
that's a really good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
quality of life improvement. But now that we've got through the news, and next week, Jason, I can't wait to hear you talk about Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. But now that we've got through the news, we've got two topics, and they're big ones. We're going to start with Pokemon. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got rumors, and this one blew up in a major way. I woke up, was it Monday morning, to Emily Rogers, who surfaced once again with another blog,
Yes.
basically detailing like, hey, there's a Pokemon game. It's going to be revealed this month, ahead of E3.
Not even E3.
So they're going to have some sort of Pokemon Direct, maybe, if you will. And she's
That leads me to believe that they are completely not talking about it at E3, and they just want to get it out of the way so they have other stuff to talk about.
if I remember correctly, Jason, try to correct me if I'm wrong. The year that Pokemon Sun came out, they did a Pokemon Direct for like 3 minutes before. They did like a trailer, and then at E3 they did like 15 minutes of it before they showed a Zelda, and we were like,
Yeah, there
We
was
know
that
what a Pokemon game
Direct,
is.
Yeah, and we're all like, just show us Breath of the Wild. They're like, nope.
it was
we're
like a
gonna walk
tutorial.
around
They were
the
like,
island.
here's how you throw a Pokeball. We were like, are you freaking kidding me right now?
And everyone was just like, caps lock.
Get off the internet. So I think they could do something like that again. I believe if they have a Pokemon game coming this year, there will be something in the presentation. They will show it again. They're going to put Pokemon out there as much as possible. Well, let's get into the news, because she mentioned a few things. She said it's going to be different. She said it's going to use some Pokemon Go things, which has been kind of embellished on and added to throughout the week. And the reason we're reporting actually both these rumors is they've actually gotten some credible. Now, I would always call Emily Rogers credible. She has a history. But some folks here, or some folks in PSVG wouldn't, as Jason knows. And
I
but
know quite a few.
yeah, but
I know folks. Yes.
Eurogamer and Go Nintendo also added to it and said that they've sourced things and heard things. So we have a credible rumor. So let's get into it. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. This is a mainline core series Pokemon RPG set in Kanto. It is a reimagining or possibly a remake of Pokemon Yellow. It will feature Red and Blue. And one of the things that has been mentioned is that they will replace HMs. Jason, do you know what HM is?
No.
Okay, so in the old Pokemon games, you had to like earn move sets and like skills, and you picked them up. They were called HMs. They're like little things you could teach to your Pokemon
CDs.
to do. In Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, they got rid of that for like this wristwatch that you could just
Okay.
like call Charizard to let you fly. So you'd be like, Charizard, come fly me to the other side of the map. So that's a quality of life improvement.
Okay.
And now that it's been dubbed Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee,
I don't like that name at all. I hope that's a
Pokemon Let's Go?
placeholder. Yeah, if this is legit, I hope that's a placeholder because that name sucks.
it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, we've
No,
seen
it's
logos.
not.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. We've got logos, but it
Well,
also.
I mean, I've got Photoshop. I
That-
can make it look.
Very true. Very
Did
true.
you buy the servers? Because they bought the servers.
Yeah, I was getting there. Yeah, they totally did buy the name, and it was the same company that purchased the domain name as the last year's company. That like Nintendo has a front for this. They have another company they use to buy domain names. The owner of Pokemon Sun and Moon Pikachu.com are also the owners of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu.com. So yeah, but all these rumors kind of come to light because there was a leaked screenshot a while back of a Lapras kind of in the water, and it was a trainer with an Eevee sitting on top of him, like on his
I
shoulder,
remember. Yeah.
and it had all the Pokemon around him that you could catch, but you could see them. Whereas in the Pokemon RPG games, Jason, typically you never see them. Like they're in the grass. You're just walking through the grass, and a Pokemon appears. In Pokemon Go, you see them on the map.
Okay.
So that looked like it may have some hints, and so that gives that leak some credibility. And then Masuda, the developer, he's been taking pictures for 4-6 months of him holding Pikachus and Eevees. And then nobody's ever really figured it out until now. They're like, oh man, there's a bunch of pictures of him like, hey, buy Pokemon stuff. And he's got a Pikachu and an Eevee. So it looks like this is the game that's coming. It's supposed to come this year. So Caroline was right. At some point in time, she predicted that we're getting a Pokemon game. And the biggest interesting factoid is that apparently Pokemon Go will share some connectivity features with this game.
So I guess that's the name tie-in.
That's the name tie-in. And how this works, there's been a lot of speculation. I haven't seen anything that actually tied it down. I've seen one idea that's been debated around, I think, almost everywhere, and a lot of people are saying that you will catch Pokemon in this game on your Switch like you do in Pokemon Go, where you have like this little mini game where you throw the ball with a swipe, which is fine for the tablet, but how do you do that on a controller? Just with a stick? Is that as fun? I don't think so. Do you feel like you're missing something?
Maybe it's a Wii U experience where you see it on the screen, but you have to be. I don't know. How do you play it portable then?
When we watch the Game Explained video, my son immediately goes, "Oh, I know how we'll do that. We'll use the Joy-Cons, motion controls." I'm like,
it's like,
I love you, kid. I'm like, I love you, kid. I just stay innocent for as long as possible. Wait until you get a Twitter account. People are going to tell you to hate that. But he loves it. He's like, oh yeah, we'll just use motion controls. It'll be fine. So that's one idea that I've seen. Another idea that I've seen is that, another that's been reported is that there will be a new device, like the Pokemon Go trainer device that they had when it came out with the game.
Oh crap!
There'll be another Bluetooth device that you can use to catch Pokemon with both games, and apparently you'll get rewarded for playing both games. So I've got questions for both of you that I think are aimed at both of you. We'll start with you, Jason. You're not a Pokemon player.
I'm not.
But this is a remake of the first Pokemon. Do you think the idea of having a remade game, something you can get on the ground level, does that attract you to give it a try?
I played Pokemon Red back in the day.
Oh, okay.
So I have played a Pokemon game to its completion, and I had fun with it back then. I had friends that we had the Game Boy, we had the link cables, we did the battling, but no, I mean, like for a brief moment, I was like interested in Sun and Moon as well, because I thought, oh, that's cool to play on the 3DS, and it looked much improved from other things. But I don't know, I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm just not. I'm not like. There's no pull for me to jump with it, and I don't know why that is. It's not like I feel like I'm too old for Pokemon. I have a beard. I'm a man. I can't play this kid's game. The
40-year-olds at GameStop that I've seen would disagree with you.
No, right? So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because I didn't grow up with that affinity for it. I'm not sure, but yeah. I almost played. I was very close to getting into Pokken. It was very close, but I never made the jump on that either. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why, but no, I don't think so.
Okay. Did you play Pokemon Go?
I did install it, and I remember playing it like for a little bit one time when I was walking the dog, and I was like, "This is a pain in the butt." And then I remember one time I was with my wife, and we were walking. She's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "No, don't do that." I was like, "Okay."
Jason, you already look like a hipster. You can't act like one too. All right, stop it. Just slaps the phone out of his hand. Stop it.
Don't do that. So, and actually, when you look around my area, I was like, oh, I guess if I want to catch Rattatas, that's what I can do. That's all there ever is here.
Yep.
Okay, Caroline, this is your moment. Pokemon Go features. You play Pokemon Go. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Played
still
all the stuff. Yeah.
Brian plays it religiously still. He opens the damn phone every single time that he's, out and about, and he's like, "Hey, you want to try and take this raid together?" And I'm like, "Do you really want my really underleveled stuff compared to yours?" I don't want this game. I mean, I'm gonna get it, but this isn't what I wanted in a Pokemon game.
I don't want it, but I'm gonna buy it anyway.
I'm gonna buy the dual pack because that's just who I am. I got my dad shirt on today.
Tell me why you don't want it.
I think that the Pokemon Go and the Pokemon RPG series are separate and distinct entities. It's like a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That's separate from the regular Pokemon games. I don't want the gimmicks of the mobile game in my RPG. It's gimmicky.
Set me up, Jason.
What are you talking about? It's just I really liked Pokemon Go when it first came out. And there have been some improvements to the game that I've been like, I jump back into it for a little bit and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. And, if I lived or worked in the city like my husband does and can just spin the Pokestops all day long, then I would probably be more into it. But because I don't get out and about as much, I'm just kind of stuck with 0 Pokeballs at all times. I don't know. Pokemon Go feels like a chore, and the Pokemon RPG series is not. For me, it's more like a good grind, but this one is just like you really got to collect them all. Otherwise, everybody like kind of upstands you. I don't know. This is like, if I see some video and it proves me wrong, the titles alone have got me really disappointed. I mean, I am freaking mad.
Okay.
This isn't what I wanted.
So let's chat.
Hashtag not my Pokemon.
Not my Pokemon. Yeah. That's good. All right. I share your concerns. But there are also like some different ways that I've thought that I look at this and I go, it might not be that bad. Specifically, getting back to your situation, you might be prime. Because you can play Pokemon Let's Go on Switch, and Brian can be your Pokemon Go player, and you can just reap all of his rewards.
A Pokemon mule.
Yeah, like I was thinking
I'm confused.
So apparently they're going to share like some sort of connection. So if you play both, you'll get rewards, right? So like if he catches a Pokemon in Pokemon Go, or he catches 10 Pokemon in Pokemon Go, if that Pokemon just shows up in your game, or in your Pokemon bank, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It'll saturate the market. There won't be like a trade game there, I don't think. But there's still something cool to be had. I've got kind of pros and cons and thoughts on how I think this integration could work. Specifically with the battling, like throwing a Pokeball doesn't really bother me. I don't see how it's any worse than just the animation that you see 1,000 times when you play the game anyway, because that's all it is now, is an animation and you watch the ball taken back. At least you get to do something while that happens, so that's not terrible.
I have terrible depth perception, and it's like, oh, how far back is that thing? Yeah, sure. And I missed like 5 times before I hit it.
So that's kind of the double side of the sword here is, does this now mean that I have to like microtransaction my Pokeballs?
Oh God, no.
Like, is that so? What I wanted to get to was 2 weeks ago we discussed Nintendo's renewed focus in mobile games, where I made a mention that I'm concerned with such great success that features from mobile games will start to be baked into games, and here we are 2 weeks later, and it looks like this is happening. So I wanted to bring this back up. Do you have any concerns now, now that it's your ultimate Pokemon game? Because I don't think Nintendo will do this. I really don't. But
I don't think we're gonna have microtransactions in a game that you've already bought.
I hope you're right. I don't think, and I agree with you. I don't think Nintendo will do this, but I could definitely come up with a very devious plan for them to do this. What I think ultimately here is, I think they're using the Pokemon game, the RPG, the game, as a way to get more people playing Pokemon Go, which then drives revenue. So they're not necessarily putting microtransactions into Pokemon Let's Go, but by telling you, hey, if you put money into Pokemon Go, you will play Pokemon Let's Go better, then they're kind of doing it. Like they're kind of doing it without doing it.
Yeah. I also wanted to say, while this is not what I wanted, I have nothing wrong against the Kanto region. Kanto is like probably one of my
That's
favorite
everybody. Yeah, it's
regions.
most folks' favorite.
And I would love to see it in we don't even know what it's going to look like. I mean, it's obviously going to be even much more improved.
Everybody says it's like a slightly improved version of Sun, and if they do it in HD on Switch, that should look really good because it's pretty.
Right.
I mean, Sun looked great, and it wasn't in HD. So,
but as the 8th generation in the series, this isn't what I wanted them to open their.
But it's not an 8th generation. It's really not.
Gonna kind of.
No,
be.
it's not. Because it's a remake of an old game, first gen, with some last gen stuff thrown in it. It's really not.
But Fire Red and Leaf Green were technically the 3rd gen too, along with Ruby Sapphire Emerald.
I don't think Nintendo's going to count this one. I think the true next gen Pokemon game comes next year. So I did want to say this. I think this is not a terrible way to try and spice up an old game. Right? They've already released Yellow and Red and Blue. So it's not like you can't play the old ones if you want to.
Right.
Them trying to mix it up a little shouldn't necessarily be met with such resistance immediately. Like what if it is just like, hey, if you catch a Pokemon in Pokemon Go, you get a Pokeball or something over here in Pokemon Let's Go. And like, what if the connection is really, mindless and it's not that big of a deal? Then it'd be pretty cool.
Nintendo account or something. Yeah.
Yeah, just like Fire Emblem and,
like my Nintendo Platinum coins or
exactly.
Something
if it's something like that, then it could be kind of cool.
Sure. I'm pessimistic in like almost everything, and I'm dreading how awful this can be.
I love that. Like 2 weeks ago, you were like, "Nah, they're not going to do that." Because I've had, Jason knows, I've had this concern since they announced Miitomo, and here's why. I did pull some numbers. Here's why. Pokemon Sun and Moon broke all kinds of records for like fastest selling games. Right? It was a smash hit. Pokemon Sun and Moon sold 16 million units, give or take.
Oh.
That's a lot for a 3DS game. That's a lot for really any game. That's a ton.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go has 22 million daily users.
Daily users.
Pokemon Go has been downloaded over 500 million times. Pokemon Go generated $1 billion in revenue. That has always been my mobile scare because 3DS,
Holy
Switch,
crap.
Wii U, Wii will always be governed by the install base. Whereas on mobile, if they can get $1 out of 80 million people, it'll crush anything they could ever do in a hardware gaming space. So I've always been kind of concerned. I always say the word concerned because I just think it's a slippery slope. Right? The wrong person comes in, you get Nintendo's version of Don Matrick or something comes through, and he's like, we can double our money tomorrow if we make everybody do this. And it scares me because
I wonder if it's just a marketing thing, trying to get those numbers that have done Pokemon Go to try and buy a Switch for these games.
Oh, I absolutely think what they're doing is placating to the people that don't play Pokemon games. They're like, hey, you remember all you people that play Pokemon Go? Check this out. Look at this cool stuff you can do over here. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And I think using an old game to try and do that is smart. I give them credit for that. I mean, I think it's a shrewd, smart business move. It makes sense. It'll probably be a hit. It is scary. We'll see how these transactions go. If I've got to pay for Pokeballs, like I do in Pokemon Go,
I think they're
I'm going to be really angry.
I think they're smarter than that.
You have to use Pokemon Go in order to get the Pokeballs in. Hey,
children that don't have phones, though, that's not going to happen.
There's going to be, we'll see. Like, I don't want to write anything off because, like I said, at face value, I don't think this is crazy. I think it's neat and it's kind of spicy and it's something new.
No, they're bringing back the life improvement genre, and they're going to make you have to walk so many steps in Pokemon Go that syncs to your account, and then you get to a Pokeball for every 50 steps you walk.
God, no.
It's like a pedometer. You just gotta. Yeah. That's. They could do. I mean, it could get crazy.
I didn't even mean to wear my Evolution shirt today, but I did.
She's buying Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Like she's hands
Dig
down. Dig Dug.
Dig Dug. Cute.
So, later this month. Eventually, we'll see soon. So I don't even know, like, if we can include that
tomorrow
in our official predictions episode, if we can even count this anymore, because now it's all but confirmed. So probably have Smash in September, Pokemon November.
Crying inside.
We'll see. Like I said, we don't know. It's all speculation. Until we know, we don't know.
I'm more concerned about probably what you're going to talk about next.
You ready to move on?
Let's move on.
Okay. Star Fox is coming back.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
I was like, I had a feeling this was gonna be. I'm like, Caroline's not gonna care about this.
Oh, I'm okay. Before we move to Star Fox,
actually a game
Caroline,
that
what
I
were
would-
you gonna say?
Oh,
In
I
case
was
I'm
talking
missing.
about the leak that included the names of these things before we even saw the servers had been bought, the logo, everything. But they knew the name.
Just the logo name?
No, just Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. You remember the E3 showroom thing that Kylo posted?
I don't.
The one
I'm
that
sorry.
I wrote like 3-page
Oh,
drivel
okay.
about.
That's the. Oh, no. Okay, so to catch everybody up, yeah, Callow posted one of those ridiculous E3 rumors where it's just like a piece of paper. It's an agenda of their show lineup, and that's nothing against. Jesse's in chat. Hey, Jesse. That's nothing against Callow at all. It's great. Every year when I see those posts, those pictures, they come. Every company gets one. There's one for Ubi. There's one for Square. There's one for Microsoft. And every year I think to myself, like, who is so gullible to think that somebody just like writes it down like this? Yeah. And they do not. Caroline, come on, you're not that person.
No, I wrote down the 3 pages of I hate this. This is so stupid, and nobody would believe this. And then the next day, the Pokemon names get confirmed, and I'm like, oh no.
I don't know if I saw one today. I don't know if it's the same one, because I was only on mobile throughout the weekend, so I missed that post. But Nintendo Life had a really good video just tearing this one apart because it has all like this grammatical errors and things are capitalized and some things aren't.
That's what I did.
It was great.
I had screen caps ready to go for a blog post, and then I'm like, I can't post this blog. What if it's true? And I look like an idiot.
It's not. There's no business reason for them to create such a document. There's no reason. Like, what are they doing? They're just like having a meeting and they hand out 80 of their things the month before it happens. That doesn't happen.
Have the minutes.
Trust me as somebody that sees presentations on very secure information. At best, it goes into a PowerPoint that only one person gets to see. Like there's no that document. Reggie's not walking around with an 8x11 of their show plan. Like it doesn't happen. That's no, don't believe that. All right, on to Star Fox.
Star Fox.
Star Fox is coming back. And according to Eurogamer and some other folks that source this rumor, Star Fox Grand Prix will be the name of it. It's being made by Retro, and it's a racing game.
I will buy the hell out of it too.
I'm gonna hold my opinion for Jason. Jason, tell me what you think about Star Fox Grand Prix.
You know, to be honest, at first I was like, not like this, but then I was like, you know, anything positive Star Fox right now is good for the overall brand, because right now I think a lot of people that are new to Star Fox or don't have the nostalgia for Star Fox are used to Zero, and they're like, everyone hates this. I don't like this either. So I think, let's face it, the old Star Fox that we know it is very stale. There hasn't been any change to that on rails type of game in a long time, and they really do need to do something fresh with the series. And for the love of God, we cannot keep replaying the original Lilat Wars, so to speak. You know, it's time we stop going through the same, oh, Andros has attacked Corneria, we must team Star Fox, must save it. No, please, we've had like 4 games that have done that, so they need to do something. They need to do something different. So and I'll be honest, after things happened with Zero, I didn't think we were going to see a Star Fox game for like, 4 or 5 years or something like that. So I mean, if this is, I will buy it. You know, there's a new article out right now on Nintendo Life that there's like more rumors out here that are further supporting this idea that this is a real concept. This is a real thing. You know,
I love it. It's Mario Kart for Star Fox.
So
I think it's awesome.
There's a lot of Switch owners that are upset because they think they already have all the kart racing that they need. That's their I saw a lot of it. Like, I already have Mario Kart. Why do I need another racing game?
But I think this is going to be more of like an F-Zero type thing. This seems more F-Zero-ish. I mean, there's been always like parallels between the two universes anyway.
So some of the details that I was able to pull, it's going to be like Diddy Kong Racing. So you may have like some flying land traversal type mix.
Yeah.
As you shoot enemies and you can shoot other players, you will propel yourself forward. So it's like this boost, like drive mechanic, which I think is neat. I don't think I've actually ever played anything like that. And it has an adventure mode, and it has hub worlds.
hub worlds and
Boss
you can
battles.
walk around and talk to NPCs. Yeah, and boss battles. Some people are saying it's going to be similar to a game called N-Gen Racing, which is like a flight racing game. Looks like it came out on the PlayStation. I'm looking at a gameplay video of it now. And that itself looks kind of similar a little bit to at least the aerial sections of Diddy Kong Racing, which I thought were fun.
So my opinion of this is, I absolutely love this idea. I pitched to you guys a while back that with Star Fox, they needed to redo it. I thought they might do a platformer because that seems to be what they do. Like when something's on life support, they just turn it into a platformer. But yeah, racing game. It'll be different than Mario Kart because you can fly. It's a 3D racing game, and that changes everything. You're going to be able to go up, down, as opposed to left and right. If they do a proper battle mode with this type of setup, this game is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
The game is going to be amazing. And I can only imagine they have to, right? There's so much about it. It's about attacking other players that there'll have to be some sort of battle mode. You would think.
We didn't get that in Mario Kart 8 at first.
You're 100%. Yeah. There's also been a lot of speculation that Retro's been working on this for a while. This might have been a Wii U game that was in the works for a while. Remember, they haven't touched anything since Tropical Freeze. And that was 2013, I think. It's been a while, man. It's like 5 years they've been working on some stuff.
So that could be.
That's the only game they've been working on?
So there's also rumors that they had another project canceled. I don't know about those rumors. Okay. I honestly think a lot of those rumors might be the fact that people are upset that this is what Retro is working on. Gotcha. The mighty Retro Studios that everybody remembers for Prime, they hated that they made Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze and Donkey Kong Country Returns. Like they were so upset that Retro was on Donkey Kong. They just want Retro to be the Metroid Prime stuff. I was actually interested when this news broke, how many people on Twitter were like, who's making Metroid? And I was like, dude, last year's E3, when they unveiled Metroid, they said then Retro's not making Metroid. Like, they were very clear. It's its own team in Japan is making Metroid. Like, this is not it. We had no idea what Retro was working on. So my lasting thought on this topic would be, Retro Studios made Metroid Prime 1, 2, 3, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. All 5 games are amazing, comparatively speaking. All 5 games are worth their weight, right? They're worth the cost of entry. They're worth playing. I can't imagine that this game is anything but awesome. I mean, the studio has the reputation. At worst, it'll be good.
Miyamoto goes, wait, we need to add this cool motion gimmick into it.
That's why we hope Retro stays the Western thing that they are. They're like, no. They bring him into a room with like a table, and they're like, talk to our folks.
Hey, I bet you we can still do a barrel roll. So, I mean, got that in there.
I think that'll be an attack or something.
Yeah.
A way to roll and boost, kind of like how in Mario Kart 8 when you like bump into somebody and you get the boost.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really neat.
I think there's space for people that are saying that we already have a kart racer. I think that's pretty well. Let's face it, it's the internet, so it's gonna be narrow-minded. But I mean, that's a big variation because like there's no aerial sequences in Mario Kart besides
Did any
just
of you
gliding.
guys play the Sonic Racer?
Yes.
I love that game.
The original one, yeah.
That game is awesome. On Wii U, I played on Wii U and Vita, and it's great. And Jason, it's 3 different, each lap you do a different thing. So like Sonic, you go around this cart, right? And you're flying around Sonic, and then like the bridge collapses and you boost into like a plane, and then you float as a plane, and then you get knocked out of the sky and you drop into a boat, and now you're on the water. And every race is like that. And it was so much fun. It's such an underrated game. It was really, really good. If that game was ported to Switch, I'd buy it again. Like it is. My kids and I, we unlocked all the racers, all the levels. It was fun. I would think that this game would be better than that. I gotta tell you, I'm really interested in seeing what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like, do they go like the anime cartoony route? Do they do something different? Is it like Star Fox Zero in presentation? Like, what does it look like?
No more Muppets, and I know you and I talked about this.
I love the Muppets. The Muppets are great.
I bet you it'll have 0 assets because I mean that'll probably be if it was developed around that same time. I bet you they use that art style at least.
I think they are so like opposed to what Zero did. Nintendo is selling the Zero Guard pack with the Fox amiibo for $19.99 on eBay right now. Like the amiibo itself is worth $12.99. That's how cheap they're selling Zero. But
they're using amiibos to get rid of the software.
Yes, like I think they just want to they want to get rid of everything that happened with Zero. Like burn the Muppets, everything. Let's just start new.
Go back to the Command art style.
I liked Command.
I'm kind of in my mind this idea. I'm visioning something more cartoony. I have this. I can
Like
see
Sonic
like
Mania type anime
like the
thing.
space battle, right? Like with the Star Fox. Like maybe he's got like some fur, but it's not like detailed. It's nothing's like that. There's no edgy corneria. None of that's there. It's all like very flat and round and solid and polished and colorful. And I could just see it like bright lights. So I'm thinking like
Rave type stuff.
what's that Mario Kart level? Is it the music one where all the lights are like kind of flickering and pumping and stuff
yeah,
like that?
the,
And it's dark and you get all the
Electrodome.
highlights.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Electrodome.
thinking. In my mind, I'm like Star Fox flying through a thing with like all this stuff going on. And
I'm thinking more like Neo Bowser City for some reason, but anyway.
That's yeah, something like that. I think in this realm. And like I said, if they can spin a battle mode off of it, something that you can do quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that could really set that one apart. Because that could be its thing, right? Because you shoot people. That's what you do with
Yep,
Star Fox. You
right,
shoot
right.
people, and they're never
I mean,
going to
it's not-
invest. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said the Star Fox game I want. We're never gonna get it. So I mean, I'll take this. So.
Yeah, they're never going to. What they should
meantime.
do, and I've been saying about this Metroid for I feel like a decade. What they should do is turn Star Fox into a shooter. Problem is, they're never going to invest into making that game because it's going to cost a ton to make it.
Right.
Like you've got to have a solo player campaign, multiplayer modes. Like they're never going to make the Star Fox the shooter game.
And
it
it's
should
not
be.
it's not the franchise that has the sales numbers to warrant that kind of investment.
Right. So this I think is really good.
So, when do we think it's going to drop?
I'm going to say this year.
You think?
Well, so all right. So Kevin dropped this.
Demo available now.
Kevin dropped this prediction episode that we have to make. So we've got to do the PSVG style stuff, which is weird for us because for like weeks we've been making them. So I feel like it's going to be like a rehash type of thing. So I don't know how we're going to do that. But yeah, considering that Retro's been working for a long time, I do think that this, I mean, when I say this year, I would say like this fiscal year. Maybe it's like January, February.
I'm thinking at the beginning of next year.
Yeah, but if they're going to show it at E3, considering it's Retro, and Retro's been dormant for so long, I think it's a quick turnaround.
I think we
it's
need
coming
something to
soonish.
fill, especially knowing how it worked, January to April of this year. Like we need something to fill that gap.
Be like that
post-holiday.
Xenoblade, like pop. Yeah, they could just right after the new year and like here's this new game to get you kicked off with.
Speaking of Xenoblade, y'all playing it still, right? Yeah? No? Please?
I haven't been able to play it in a bit. I played chapter 1. That's as far as I got.
I've been playing it. I've been playing a little bit. I played it twice.
Really?
I played it twice, and I probably would have played it more had I not just been completely sucked into Far Cry.
Yeah,
And
I got
actually,
caught.
we got through everything I wanted to get through much faster than I thought. So if you guys want to talk, if you want to talk some Donkey Kong, we can. I'd like to at least take the moment to tell you what I'm not playing, because this became a topic of debate in our Discord. I am no longer playing South Park Fractured But Whole
Yeah,
on Nintendo
figured.
Switch. And let's just read Devin, got super upset with me. He was just like, I can't believe you traded another game. Jason, tell me why it is that our PSVG compadres just cannot stand my game playing tendencies. What is with this?
Everyone has to tell everyone else how to have fun. And
I feel
how you
game
should-
shamed
and
all
how
the
you should have
time.
Fun. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, remember like a couple years back when like the gaming community was like more toxic than ever. Everyone's like, no, you shouldn't be playing that. You should play this. And it was like the big thing. It's like, you're not supposed to have fun that way. You need to have fun how this way. And there was like the huge thing. Everyone was telling everyone that you can't play games like this. You should be playing that. Don't play this. Why are you playing that game? That's got multiplayer. It doesn't have a campaign. Blah, blah, blah. It's like that stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I saw it and I was like, it's just Donnie being Donnie. I mean, that's what Donnie does. He's going to buy something. If he doesn't like it, he's going to flip it.
Move it fast, man. Get out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and
Because
actually,
why hold on to it? You're going to lose value.
it's not that I didn't like it either. That's the thing. I actually quite enjoyed it. I got through the church. I got through the second, like, they have like a Civil War chapter, kind of, where like you and your band of superhero mates fight the other neighborhood kids' band of super. And it's like a recurring beat. So like you have the first one and then you go off and do some other stuff and you come back to the second one and you go off and do some other stuff. So I got through the second one. I think I probably played it for like 10 or 12 hours. I probably wasn't that far away from beating it. I probably could have beat it if I wanted to play it for another 6 or 8. I just didn't. I got to that point where I was just like, this is a lot of
Your
South
heart's not in it. Yeah.
Well, it's just a lot of South Park. And,
Yeah,
you know, it's like
watching like 12 hours straight marathon or something.
yeah, It's like it's not like 30 minutes of South Park that you watch, occasionally every month or two. It's like I watch 10 hours of South Park cutscenes.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of South Park. Also, to be critical of the game a little bit, while I enjoyed the battle mechanic, the dialogue and the sponginess of the enemies got really repetitive. The dialogue almost instantly. Like if you talk to an NPC more than once or more than twice, they say the same thing. They have two lines. So you got one line, you've got the other line, and then they just go back and forth. And then the battle, towards the middle of the game, I kept using the same special attack, hearing them tell you the same one-liner after the special attack, hearing it was just it felt a lot of the same.
I mean, that's no cool Jason Mage raining fire down. I mean, that never gets old. But I mean, South Park, I can see that, especially. I mean,
there's only so many times I can hear
Timmy
Randy
stutter. At your party at least at all? Because if you get Randy talking about farts and stuff like that, that always keeps it fresh. There are
Randy specific missions that go down that line, and some of the stories, and especially the jokes, are. I mean, they're South Park. They're spot on. Yeah. And the game looks great, and the game runs great. I had no problems. Like, outside the initial loading screen, you were good once you get into the game. It's fun. And it's a big, RPG. But, I am known to do. Sometimes if I'm just not enthralled with the game, I'm going to move on from it. And, as Caroline was alluding to, it went on sale. I had the game for 2 weeks. I played for 12 hours, and it was cut in half. So, I traded in for what I could get out of it while I could. And if, like I said, I have my save. If I ever want to go beat it again, I'll pick up a copy. But yeah, the amount of vitriol that I get sometimes for dropping a game. It's like,
well, let's face it, you get that for anything you do. Not just doing that. It's like no matter what you do, you get the heat from everyone. It's just
I am the whipping boy.
It's just
to be fair, you did it for Xenoblade 2 pretty quickly, and here you are, you've bought it again.
That's true. That is, to be fair, you're 100% right. I did buy Xenoblade again. I did get the special edition on sale though. For cheaper than I bought the regular edition.
Yeah.
And, but I did play it. I booted it up the last time we shacked together, and I was playing it for a little bit, and I played it the next day. I still can't really play it portably.
I couldn't either.
That's all I played it so far.
Really? Oh, dude,
you're missing out.
When you put it on your actual TV,
it looks a lot better.
I had a feeling is great. In those first moments when you're on Grandpa there, and the way the blocks and some of the stuff looks, I'm like, this. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell that
aliasing is terrible.
Yeah. I've got it for 13. I got it for 13 more days, I think, before I have to do back. So.
While I did buy it again, I do feel like it goes without notice that I got a refund, and I bought the special edition of that game for $13. I didn't buy it again.
Yeah,
I kind of swapped the game for it. I didn't really buy it again. I got it for almost nothing.
And you're getting a free lunch for an art book, and
I get more out of it. See, it was even more. It was an investment. Even investment. It's paying for itself at this point. I do love the Steelbook. That is a great looking Steelbook. Really nice. It's gorgeous. Jason, we got some minutes, man. Tell me about Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Within 15 minutes, about half an hour of my time with Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, I got further than I ever did on the Wii U. So I mean, there's that right alone. I did actually play a little bit Doc too. So I've played almost exclusively in handheld again because I got it on a Sunday. And I had Doom and the other game from the library, so I didn't even play the game until the first time. I think almost a week later after release. So I threw it in last Friday, I think actually, and then I completed all the levels this week. I mean, I'm nowhere near completion, but everyone's talked about this game about being a great platformer and its difficulty, and I haven't played Funky. I haven't played any Funky mode yet.
Pure Jason fashion. He's like, I don't see what all the fuss is about it, and just breezing through this thing.
I mean, there's definitely
6-4. Now 6-5.
I wanted to beat it that night so bad, and then I couldn't. I died on the boss, and then I was like, I looked at the clock, I'm like, holy crap, it's 12:30. I gotta go to bed. And then when I was waiting for bacon to cook the next morning, I beat him. I beat it on the couch. So I was like, yes, I did it first try. But no, I really like it. It looks great. I can't really remember how it performed on the Switch, but I mean, everyone talks about the music from was it David Wise did the soundtrack, and it just got a great score. I mean, it controls really well. I think the level design's really great. And it's just deviously trying to find all the collectibles. I mean, that's the thing. You got to get the puzzle pieces in each stage, and then you got to get this, and then what? I think isn't it true though? You get what 200% completion, I think, on that game. So I think there's even more things to do after I do
Shut
that.
up. That's not possible.
In
Don't
Donnie
tell me
hating fashion, I would never know because I would never try to do that. I would beat the game and trade it back in. That's what I would
Yeah,
do.
well, it's just like less. I haven't gone back and done all that stuff, but I mean, I had a lot of fun. And like for me, I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. I had enough people that had it, but like at the closest McDonald's to me growing up was like 20 minutes away. It's a city where my in-laws actually live now, and they had the Playland thing. And they had 3 TVs. They had it set up. It was Super Nintendos, and then we had Donkey Kong. So that was the thing. You know, I'd always play Donkey Kong that way, and so much about that game I remember, and like music, and it's so cool. I know we had Donkey Kong Country Returns, but it's still so cool to go back to this game because you've got the level, the music after you beat a level is the same, the underwater theme is still the same, so many things, and it comes back to all those beats that I remember, and it's so good to be back in that space. I'm curious to see what multiplayer feels like on there, but I had a lot of fun with it. I just had a lot of fun going through each level. The mine carts, the little rocket you ride on. I mean, so many things. And yeah, I mean, there were some moments I was just like, I would die over and over. And I was like, son of a, but you get like, I mean, I think right now I have like 92 lives in that game.
God.
Yeah. So you rank up like balloons like crazy. So it's never like a concern that you're ever going to run out, and you can just replay levels. And it's got a lot of charm. It's got a lot of fun. It's been an enjoyable experience. I don't regret it at all. I mean, I got a great deal on it between Amazon Prime discount and the pre-order discount as well. I mean, I got the game for like $20.
Now you can trade it in and get the Banner Saga or something else.
What about the didn't we say that it runs on like 690 something p?
Yeah, it's just a shade under 720p handheld.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks great on that screen, and then I played it at certain games. I feel like I don't even notice I'm playing with the handheld because like the controls are well enough, because you've heard me talk about how much I hate those thumbsticks, and that game I can play just fine handheld. There's certain games it just works, but I definitely I didn't notice like a huge difference playing docked. Like I think it scales up nicely. Like when you're playing Doom,
it's real crisp.
Dock versus handheld, that's a big different experience.
Playing Doom handheld is like playing Quake or something back in the day. Everything is super blurry and edgy, man.
Though, it looks like that, like the resolution and the textures still look a bit off. And with this game, totally different art direction. So I mean,
sure,
I've got that, but I mean, it looks great. It runs great. I probably will have to try Funky Mode out just because I just want to do those forever spins underwater. My pirouettes underwater. I don't know. It was a good game. It was really good.
Cool. I'm glad they ported that one. That one is a really good one to port.
I'm really interested. I always like watching this. I'm really interested to see the sales numbers on that because I'm really curious to see how well it does. Because there's a lot of
Wii U, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure I saw Twitter. I think it already outsold. I think in Japan. I think Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze has already outsold the Wii U's lifetime sales. I think.
Wow.
I think I saw that tweet. I feel pretty confident about that one.
I mean, I know our echo chamber. So many people in the creator podcasting community that we're a part of. Like I knew we were picking it up. And I was really surprised. Like, wow, there's a lot of people getting this game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't regret it at all. I mean, in hindsight, I always was upset it was coming out. So that and Hyrule Warriors was coming out, 2 weeks apart. I was like, man, I wish they'd spaced that a little more. Yep. But
you already beat it.
Yeah, I already beat it. So I mean,
just in time to play Hyrule Warriors with us for the first time. I'm so excited.
I played.
You played it, but you didn't beat it though.
I played 2 missions on the.
Yeah, that didn't count. No, that didn't count. You didn't get the Master Sword. It didn't count.
No.
You gotta unlock everything.
Dude.
I was Link, and then I was Impa, and then
I'm so excited to play Hyrule Warriors, you guys. It's so good.
Me too.
It's so
really
good.
Is.
People are gonna learn. It's like they learn with Mario Golf.
200+ hours.
Yeah, it's so good. It's just, Jason. It's just a Zelda fan fest. It's like, are you a Zelda fan? Well, yes, I am. Just shotgun of Zelda stuff. Just write everything. You play with everybody, all kinds of stuff.
I want to be the king of Red Lions. So
You get to do
can
that,
be the
yeah.
king of red lions.
Yeah, you get to
Run
do
around
that.
with
Of all
them.
things, you
He
get to
turns
run around.
into the boat.
You get to run around and hit people with a boat. It's ridiculous. You're absolutely.
Although
Yeah.
Tingles.
His-
I mean, that's
yeah.
up there too.
Tingle's weapon is a balloon, and King of Red Lions' weapon is the sail. Is that what he? Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
got the big rod that's just a sail. And he like his voice acting is terrible. He's like,
Yeah, that's true.
it's awful.
Now I remember that.
I like how they did, like, they've been promoting it too on YouTube. They do those like character
Yeah, all the
profiles
character
with the-
trailers,
gets me hyped for Smash character reveals, hopefully.
Mm.
Yeah.
I did see that apparently I think a majority of the characters are available from the start. It's like
Oh,
you've
cool.
got a good, I think, 10
Yeah,
or so to choose
you
from.
unlock a few of them.
Yeah,
but
and
29 total.
and I know that Link and Zelda's Breath of the Wild costumes are available from the start.
Excellent.
I'm gonna kick some butt with Breath of the Wild Zelda.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm
She's
gonna
my
do that.
baby.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one for an unknown reason. It's just she was such a great character in Breath of the Wild
really
that I
was.
want to go
She's
beat
my
up
favorite
folks.
Zelda.
Yeah, I just
Great.
want to go beat up people with her. And not. I hope they don't have any new attacks though, so she's still gonna do like her
Yeah.
little princessy
Wind
stuff.
Waker stuff, and she's got a rapier though. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
That's true. It's good, and if you turn up the difficulty, or as you get later in the game, like some of the maps get pretty challenging. And that adventure mode,
Really challenging.
you'll be playing that adventure mode for a year. Like you'll stop playing it and you'll always come back to it. I'm telling you, if you get invested into it, if you take the
Until you
time to get
complete it,
invested
yeah.
into it, it'll be one of those things you can always play. You'll never have a lack for anything to play because you'll be like, I just play another adventure map. It's like a game that never stops giving. It just keeps going. There's always something there.
Huge.
So anyway, that's it. That's all we've got for you tonight.
You didn't ask what I'm playing, but guess what? I'm not
You
playing.
said you already told me you weren't playing anything, so I didn't even want to go there.
Yeah.
I was like, so,
I've been reading a really cool book.
It's not about
that-
it's not what you've been reading. That's not.
It's a Nintendo book. It's a book about like the way that they created the NES, dude. It's awesome. It's
Okay.
called I Am Error, and it's written by a doctor in media and art, and he teaches at Virginia Commonwealth University, I believe. His name is Nathan Altice, and right now I'm reading about which card or which memory chips they decided to do or something. Gosh, it's like so over my head when I'm reading it. I have to read it twice. It's like that kind of thing.
Mhm.
But it talked about how the Nintendo almost was just the ColecoVision in Japan, that they just wanted to bring it over there because they'd already given them the Donkey Kong port and they didn't want to have to recreate it. So we almost never had a Nintendo NES. We just would have a Nintendo ColecoVision.
It's like we almost had the Nintendo PlayStation, and it would have been awesome.
It would have been
Ooh.
awesome.
What a different world we'd live in. Oh, by the way, Nintendo Shack listeners, you can create families. We did. You can create family groups. We created a family group, and we kicked out Kyle and Josh and Seth. And Seth took that hard
And
for like
that
2
created-
days.
There was a deep rift in PSVG. Why'd
Yeah.
you kick it? Dev doesn't even have a Switch.
Yeah.
Mom hates it. Why are they in?
They got first dibs. Mo came with money. Mo was like, "Hey, I want to
I'm buying-
reserve
here,
my
I'll
spot."
buy 4 years of it. Here you
That's
go.
exactly right. Mo came instantly. It is unfortunate.
Mo has actually turned a new leaf, I think. I don't know. I think I
he's
kind
bored.
of like
I think he's bored. I think that's what he's played a lot of Sea of Thieves. So all of a sudden,
No, but
that Switch
I-
started looking appealing across the room.
he had no idea the Breath of the Wild had like a story behind it.
Oh,
and I was
come
like,
on.
Here's these cutscenes, dude. Psh. And he's like, I actually went and looked for him. And I'm like, dude, finally, you're doing something. Keep it up.
I'm still waiting for them to be like, well, like that there's some limit. Like there's got to be something that like these accounts have some limitation, or like we have to share a car. Like I can't believe that they're like, well, it's only be $35 and 8 people can share it regardless. I just feel like there's
I think that's exactly what they want you to think.
it very well.
They
could be.
100% want you to go, well, it's so cheap, we just might as well do it. That's exactly where they want you to be.
It's like I got somebody is like, I got this email on my randomly one day. It's like, oh, I found your podcast on iTunes. Did you know blah 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 marketing? I'm like, oh god, they're trying to sell you something, you know. And it's just really cool tool that actually lets you like they analyze your audio and it puts text to it, and then you can make these little animations. I'll send you a link after the show. It's really cool. But the point of the story is, I'm like, he keeps telling me, and I was like, yeah, you know, I don't really have the budget for something like that. He's like, well, it's free, and I'm like, what's the catch?
Yeah.
And he's like, there's no catch. It's totally free. And I'm
Sure.
like,
Penetrate the market.
What's the catch?
Penetrate the market, eliminate the competition, raise the price. It's the Amazon price model. Amazon, Netflix, that's what they've done. So if you want to compete, that's what you got to do. That's the scary part about mobile gaming, guys. I'm telling you, these practices are coming. You're seeing it now. We'll see. But
no.
That is Nintendo Shack 29, which I dubbed the Leaky Boat.
I like it.
So welcome.
Isn't it ironic that it's number 29 and there's 29 characters in Hyrule Warriors, which is coming out tomorrow? Or that's out.
I don't think that's ironic at all. I think it's weird that you knew that.
I'm just the knowledge bug over here.
Who knows how many characters are in Hyrule Warriors off the top of their head?
They've been touting it in their videos.
My
like,
fandom has
29 characters.
just been surmassed. I can't compete with Caroline anymore. She knows the amount of characters in Hyrule Warriors.
You know why? Because it bothered me that there was one empty space after all of the DLC.
Oh, that bothered me too. With the one row. No, at 100%. You're like,
and I'm like,
balance.
Where's number 30? Where is it? Which is it? And
Yeah.
there was like speculation for months, like, here's number 30. And I'm like, no, it's not coming.
Nope. I wish they'd do DLC. I don't think they will. Before we leave, I do want to plug that we interviewed the media relations director for MomoCon, which is a conference that's happening here in Atlanta next weekend. So not this weekend that you're listening to now, but the following weekend, where I will be there as a member of the press, hopefully covering some news. There are some Switch indies that I'm excited to put my hands on and go play. Suda51 will be there. And he said that he's teasing a special announcement. We have no idea what it's going to be. Don't know. But I'm going to be there to find out. And if I get to interview him, I'm very excited at the possibility to interview Suda51. You have no idea. That's like that's a life goal moment right there if I could interview Suda51. I love most everything he's ever done. So I say that to bring that up if I get a chance to interview Suda51. If you've got a really good question you'd like me to ask him, tweet us and let us know. Tweet us at PSVG. Let us know. And there's other people there too. There's more than just Suda51. Troy Baker's going to be there. Nolan North's going to be there. So I'm hoping to maybe at some point in time get some FaceTime with some of these folks if I can weasel my way in there. So if you've got something you think you'd like to know the answer to, tweet us and let us know. Once again, my name's Donnie Reese. You can find me on Twitter at PlayingNintendo. Jason, where can they find you?
There ain't no G's.
Ain't no G's in Playing Nintendo.
I am on the Twitterverse at JW Lacey.
Caroline?
Talk about all the things.
I'm on Twitter at the Nintendame.
Jason, let Shack Faithful know your newest adventure.
Yes, I've had millions of internet dollars thrown at me, and I signed a contract to join Mr. Sean Capri on If We Ran Nintendo. I am a co-host on If We Ran Nintendo because.
Is that what that contract was that he teased?
Yeah.
I remember that.
I joked with him when he first he messaged me on Twitter, and I was like something, and I remember I said something about a contract. He's like, I'm going to actually make one, and sure enough, he did. So then I had the idea that we should black it out and do the slow roll, and we did. So yeah, the first episode is Monday. I don't know. I have no idea what's happening because we haven't talked about it yet. So maybe that's the goal. Maybe it's gonna.
It will fall into place.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see.
Shack Faithful, enjoy it while you can. As Sean Capri has dubbed Jason the best of us to ride his coattails off into the stars as he takes over the world with his internet fandom.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. I'm totally envious and jealous over here. By the way,
he told everybody else that we're gonna be hosting.
that was
guys are taking over the Playing with Power.
Yeah, that was.
Podcast.
We would do that show better than they do. What a terrible podcast that is.
Yeah, it's bad news.
Would do a better Nintendo podcast.
I would pay to listen to that.
A Coach Mo branded Nintendo produced podcast.
So this game, hate it.
Sucks.
It's not Madden.
Yeah, the weapons break. I like when it does it in State of Decay, but I hate it when it does it in Breath of the Wild, right? All right, with that, we will say sayonara and good night. And all the things. Again, follow us over there on Twitter at PSVG. Tune into the other shows on the PSVG Podcast Network. We appreciate it for downloading another episode of Nintendo Shack. And we will be back next week, hopefully, with a bunch of Hyrule Warrior stuff. And who knows what game will get leaked next week. It's insane. Maybe we'll find out what this Pokemon game actually
Yoshi
is.
Flippin' Island.
Exactly.
No.
So between now and then, tune into the other shows. But before and above all else, remember, boys and girls, never stop gaming.